As many of you are probably aware, I'm a big old Halo nerd. Halo 3 is my favorite, with ODST coming in microscopically close behind. Now, I don't know if I'd be any good officially writing for Halo, but I think that I could rewrite Halo 5 and make it better. Granted, that's not a hard thing to do. I have unfortunately played Halo 5, but thankfully, I remember nothing from it other than one or two key moments. I've kept it this way as I have so little shits to give about its story. I believe I can reforge it from nearly nothing anyways. For starters, I'm dropping the Chief Manhunt. It's dumb. It relies on the UNSC not taking Chief's warning seriously about the fuckery happening with the Covenant and Forerunner tech. There's literally no reason why the UNSC wouldn't heed his words and say, yeah, this known super advanced tech that has the ability to wipe out the galaxy, we're gonna listen to Chief as he has a lot of first-hand experience with it. If he says he's noticing bad things going on, we should probably send him in to handle it. So how do I fix this? Well, the UNSC sends Chief's team in to investigate the strange Forerunner events going on, but while deployed, they go missing. The UNSC can't contact them and have no idea where they are. This is where Locke would come in. Him and his team are sent in at first to find the Chief. After coming to the conclusion that they aren't at their last known location, their team is tasked with finishing the mission. After coming into contact with one of the Guardians, Locke's team now has the idea of what's going on, and since the Chief is missing at the moment, Locke is tasked with discovering more. Finding Chief is now a secondary objective, as there are more pressing matters. On Chief's side, we get the deep stuff. We find out they were teleported to a distant Forerunner installation, the system seeing them as reclaimers, and needing them to intervene with the Guardian activation. His team is fighting their way through Forerunner forces, and learning about the Guardians and what they are, also discovering that after the death of the Didact, a failsafe protocol was activated, bringing the Warden out of slumber. However, rampancy has set in, the ancient Gravemind initiating a logic plague inside the Warden, and during his deactivated time, his mind has done nothing but think itself into insanity. Now awoken, the Warden is fixated on destroying all biological life to keep the Flood from being able to come back, his containment protocols being taken to the extreme. Of course, not realizing that the Flood has been eradicated from this galaxy. At least as far as we know, that's not going to play a part in this story. Chief's team is now determined to find a way back to the UNSC and relay the info. On Locke's side, we're seeing the devastation brought on by one or two Guardian deployments on a human colony, along with the Covenant taking advantage of the disarray. Essentially, another fall of Reach. The UNSC discovers Covenant fleets stationed at other nearby human colony planets, assessing that there are Guardians on those planets too. Locke and his team realize that they're about to be dealing with multiple Reach-level events. Back to Chief, they find a Forerunner monitor who originally went to deactivate the Warden. However, it was locked out of the system, but was able to bypass it enough to bring the Chief there and feed him information about the threat, correctly predicting that Chief and team would be able to fight off the Prometheans and get the monitor into the installation. The monitor wants to help them stop the Warden, realizing the rampancy and needing to contain the protocol breach. The monitor tells them that it can shut down the Guardian activations if they can take out the Warden. So now it's a race against time, Chief and team having to fight their way through a heavily guarded Forerunner base, while Locke and his team are trying to evacuate the remaining humans in the destroyed colony, while fending off the Covenant. The UNSC also deploying all they can towards the other planets in danger. Once Chief and team make it to the Warden, a desperate fight ensues. They attempt to convince the Warden that the Flood threat is no longer there. However, the rampancy is so deep, the Warden can't be reasoned with. Chief and his team are all but killed, the monitor damaged and unable to directly shut down the Guardians. Just as the Warden is about to activate the other Guardians, he's interrupted. His defenses are also brought down. This gives Chief the opening to take a last shot, destroying the Warden. The monitor then verbally guides Chief through the process of shutting down the Guardian systems. It's noted that he has the system authority due to the Librarian's augmentation of Chief during Halo 4. With the Guardians shut down, this removes a constant threat to Locke's team, who, with recently arriving UNSC reinforcements, are able to evacuate the colony and force a retreat from the Covenant. The fleets holding outside the other human colonies, now doing battle with massive UNSC fleets arriving. After using the Forerunner systems to repair the Monitor, it takes control of the Guardian installation, recalling them, seeing that humanity is capable without the Guardians. The Monitor mentions that there is a strange subroutine running in the Forerunner system, one that seems to have been blocking the Warden from mass-activating Guardians. It goes by the codename of Luck. This, of course, implying that Cortana is now in the Forerunner system. Now, a way to tie this in with Halo Infinite and The Banished, which I've not played Halo Wars 2, so I'm not versed in their lore exactly. While the UNSC is dealing with the Covenant, the Banished take advantage of their lack of focus and go after the Halo Ring in Infinite. This, of course, probably would take out whatever Cortana plot there is in Infinite, but hey, not my problem. Also, in this rewrite, no QuickTime events, and no long-running POV cinematics. No, I don't need to press X rapidly for Master Chief to crawl on the floor to pick up a sniper rifle, and then press Y really quickly for him to aim it shakily at the Warden, and then press RT or right mouse.